Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our Obin podcast, the Online Bible Institute Network. This podcast is designed to let us talk about the Online Bible Institute, and really it's an amazing thing. This is our second episode. You're invited to go back and watch our first episode, and if you didn't watch it, that's okay too. You can start right from here. So, we're talking about the Online Bible Institute. My name is Douglas Laws. I am one of the guys working on it. The guy who does most of the work is Pastor Steve Laws. Hello, Dad. Steve
Hey.
Laws is my dad, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, it's
Happy
good
to
see
be
you.
here. Happy to be talking about the Bible Institute Network, and we're sort of really working now on the social sort of aspect of making it, so people can communicate inside the institute. We do a lot of that on a feed already, but we're going to. One of the things I've asked you to really focus on is taking that up another level and
And here we
doing
are.
things like this. Yeah, and the Facebook page and just ways for students to connect. I did have a student. I just thought of this. A student asked me, a new student said, "Hey, do you guys have any merch?" And I was like, "No, we don't have any merch, but we could make that happen." So
We could put like the OB network. Maybe we need like a real logo other than a laptop. But
I don't know. I kind of like that though.
you
Pretty
like
cool.
the laptop? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, we'll work on T-shirts and cups.
We can do it just the way we do
The
the
the church one.
yeah.
Yeah, because we have Keys Vineyard merch available on the Keys Vineyard merch store. You should have just sent her there. It's like if you're,
Yeah, I know,
this
but
is
I,
like
I
the Steve Laws look. The Keys
yeah.
Vineyard shirt, cargo shorts. You got the look.
Which won't work in most places in the world, but it works. Yeah. So anyway, I just thought, well, that was so I could see some coffee cups and some T-shirts and some hoodies hanging out, right?
Yeah, that sounds like I want one now. So we'll start working on merch. We'll
Because
just
all
and
you,
then our podcast will eventually just advertise our merch. It'll be like
yeah,
QVC for
that's,
OBIN.
it makes sense, because most people when they go to colleges and stuff,
They
they
have
wear
merch. Yeah.
yeah,
We could have an undefeated football team T-shirt.
that's
was-
right,
Yeah.
or maybe hockey,
Hockey. There you go. Just don't break your
rollerblading.
ankle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, podcast time. One of the cool things, one of the cool visions that you mentioned last week for OBIN was building this template for online Bible institutes that other churches, other ministers could take and incorporate, and then really have this online aspect, but benefit their local communities all over the world. So one of the questions I wrote down for this week was, who do you think should start an institute with OBIN? What would be the ideal candidate to run a Bible institute?
For I think for anybody in ministry that has a heart to disciple future leaders and ministers, that it's a win because to me it takes it another level when you can offer someone certificate or degree that goes along with just the learning, and so it gives you an opportunity to reach out to maybe some leaders you may not have met before, or just a more structured way of working with the ones that you have. Life is ministry, as you know, can get really crazy. And it's very hard to get things ordered and keep them going. And one of the things I love about having an online component is even if you can't make your regularly scheduled things because life happens, you can get back to it. And as long as, your group is moving forward because they have online access, and then you can gather and talk about it or, whatever. It depends on the format. There's just so many ways you can take this. And so I'm excited about that. And then I think it will give the students a better opportunity to be in smaller groups. Because there's I would envision a lot more interaction than we're able to do at the moment because we have so many students. And
Hey, this is a new podcast. For whatever reason, our software will cut off Dad talking at a very rude moment. Let There's the cat in
See
the
the cat?
background contributing. You were talking about the benefits of the online Bible Institute and really like empowering this global discipleship with a small group focus. So maybe you can kind of expound on that. Like, it's just really cool to hear folks in Oklahoma, folks in Cameroon, taking the same content and doing it. So really, you've got this global discipleship thing from the comfort of your home. So yeah, why don't you continue to talk about that a little bit?
Well, and then the opportunity is as students study and grow, all those things can be applied and be helpful in so many ways. My cat is now joining the podcast.
That cat is named Gibson. She used to be my cat, and I had
Gibson.
to give her to you as a gift.
Yeah, thank you. Now on my lap. There's just lots of opportunity. Sometimes it's hard for people, even your potential students and everything, if it's very structured, because they get busy in life and everything, can generally catch up if they can do it online. So I think that they have so many opportunities in all over the world, and not only in for areas, but for churches. We've had great success with it in our church. And just as a way to get people hooked in that can't make it to any of the meetings that we have. And again, because can be very busy and it's hard to get to. But if you can get to it online at your own time, I like that. Your own schedule, how much you want to do at once, and then learn from it and continue to grow. So there's just the potential, I think, is amazing. And so we haven't. I was saying this before we got cut off. I haven't been pushing it yet because I wanted to make sure that it was all set up and running. And so now we've had Cameroon running for quite a while, and some of the test sites up and running. So it's going to be much easier as people decide they want to start to get them going. And we'll get them. We use the way we do the platform is that we have the domain BibleInstitute.net, so we can just add whatever that institute is going to be before it. So like Cameroon is cameroon.bibleinstitute.net.
Right.
And it almost immediately shows up on Google searches. We started talking about that.
Well,
so
that's because you're tying into your site that has all this SEO. So using these templates, you don't have to do a lot of that SEO stuff. Because, I mentioned last week, you spent many evenings when I was still living with you, when I was a older teenager, just doing boring Google website building stuff. And so, but now you've got the system where people can come in and really benefit from all that. And boom, you're on page 1 of Google with the Bible Institute, reaching people in your community, discipling them with this online
and then
aspect.
all of the frameworks there. So the work's all done. This was a lot of work, but now that it's just ready to go, and we maintain the websites, so they just got to work with the students, which is huge, right? If that's all you do, then that's your focus, and you work with your students, and then my hope would be that everybody then can access the same social media stuff, and we can do all this thing and meet people. They're very cool stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So great potential. Very excited about it. And, I hope that, the next goal would be to have 5 of these institutes up, or 6, and then get them all going.
How many of these new, second branch institutes?
Well, right now it's just, I have Cameroon going, and you're actually going to start a local one. I have that running, but we're going to start putting students to that soon. And I've got a couple other people thinking about it, but I haven't, like I said, I haven't pushed because I want to make sure most of the bugs are worked out before it goes to, into people's hands. And then we have a whole nother level of problems.
Yeah, because we'll be running tech support too, and that's always fun. I was running a little tech support earlier today, so.
Yeah, there you go.
Good deal. Yeah. So that's kind of the plan for the expansion of OBIN, this global discipleship. We have a couple minutes left. Why don't you spend just a couple minutes and talk about some of the courses that we offer and the institutions that offer them. Keys Vineyard, you have it set up where some of your sermons can be used towards degrees, which is a really cool concept. So why don't you talk about that and then some of the other institutions and curriculums we use?
Yeah, so as we're preaching through series, I've done series for a long time. We try and keep them either the 10 or the 20 mark, and they count as a half or a full course. But that's so that people that come are always already watching our church. If they want, they can take that time as classroom time, and they can answer some simple questions that I tag onto an exam and write a paper, and it counts as a course at the end of it. Just a way to engage people. And that you can say to folks, hey, if you want to do it like that, you can get credit as you go to church. Now we do that because we're putting our sermons up, but I'm sure in the future that could be done with some of the little smaller, with the other institutes. If they wanted to put courses up, they just have to record them, and we could do that in checking them out. And so there we have 8 or 9 courses up there now, and we're adding to those every week. And so that works. We use Bible Project courses in our master's program. So for our master's students, those are great courses, and just they're well done and well taught. We use Biblical Training Institute for some of our master's courses and for some of the bachelor's courses. They've been around a long time, have a great website. So we partner with them. Third Millennium, we partner with. They've been around a long time. They have great courses and videos that are up and running. Harvest Time is one of the one of the groups we use. They've been around a long time. Their core programs are nice because they're not video. They're just
It's text,
PDF.
right? You get a PDF and then it's a text-based course.
And that's easier for many of our students that don't have great online access. They can download and then just upload when they get a chance to get online. And there's a couple other we use, but those are the primary ones now that we are working with and that we've used for a long time. And it's solid, good stuff. And it's interesting too because we allow for a fairly wide scope of Christian thought. I mean, there's some obvious standards, right? Got to love Jesus, and there's
right. With theology, you got your core, and then you have some layers to
it. There's a lot of, and they sort of come from different spots. And I think for students, it's good because if you don't agree with it, okay, why? But you need to know why. You have to learn why, and if you do, that's good too. But if you only get things that you always agree with, it doesn't stretch you at all. So we allow for quite a different sort of array of some of the backgrounds of courses, which I think is great. And I, for years I've said this at church, and I when it comes up, I'll say it with students. The hope would be that if I were feeding you and gave you a chicken leg, you'd know what part of that you could eat and which part you couldn't. And there's something about sort of having to figure that out as you go. Okay, you can't eat the whole thing,
right.
but get the good stuff.
Right.
And don't take the rest of it, right?
And don't be like the person who picks off the crispy skin part and just eats that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, we're excited about all of that, and we're pressing on. We keep adding students in the big site, and then that keeps picking up. So as we get these smaller sites going, we'll just start funneling students to them. Even if they don't get their own immediate sort of response when we put them up, we get enough students that we can, and the ideal would be to get all of the undergraduates into smaller institutes so they can have a better learning experience.
Yeah. I think that's going to be great. Just again, that idea of the global discipleship that you've done from your office in the Florida Keys. Because I mean, if once you're in the Florida Keys, you don't really want to leave. Like, we're locals here. We don't like leaving our islands. So, but we want to be able to impact the world, and the impact you've made discipling these people is tremendous. So, really, really exciting. I'd encourage any potential Obin starter, if you're a minister, if you're a church leader, this is a great thing to do for your church. So many churches are looking for programs just like this one, and the cost is prohibitive sometimes. Like if you had to send me to one of these master programs at a different kind of school with tuition costs, it would completely change the dynamic of it. So having the convenience of being able to log in. I did a Bible Project course this morning. It's very good. And, that daily practice of just getting the Bible in you is important. So, even if you're just a church leader and you need that, it's a great start because there's accreditation, there's, degrees to it. It's really good. And there's,
what always amazes me too is
great.
you take courses is how often you'll take a course and then something will happen that's you immediately can apply what you
Right.
what you just took the course. Yeah,
God
faithfulness
has a
of God.
tremendous way of doing that. Yeah. So it's been great. Again, I'd encourage you, if you're interested in learning the Bible more, it's just all Bible. It's all Bible. And, you just start, you can do it at your own pace. It doesn't take anything to register. It just takes your involvement. So that's the only cost to it is your involvement. And then, for church leaders, it's a great program to start. I would encourage contacting us about it. You can find us on onlinebibleinstitute.org or .net, and there's contact pages there. This has been a great talk. We'll be back in a week or two with episode 3, where we'll look at a few more things. And, sort of the hope for this podcast would be to talk about the Bible. And we'll get to there eventually.
We'll tie in what we're going through because we're going through some fascinating stuff at church right now. I mean,
it's been an amazing series. We're in Kingdom Covenant right now, which will be a course in the Obin network here shortly. I think half of the courses or half of the lessons already.
I'm current through last weekend or up there. So
we've done Kingdom Revealed and Kingdom Rebellion. So we're on part 3 of your 8-part mega series. So.
And this big series, this 8-part series, I honestly will take people, and I believe when it's all done, it will give them a really solid overview of how the Bible works together, and it really does begin to change how you understand things.
I mean, so many people just go through reading the Bible and be like, "What?" So it's just cool that we're taking it from the roots. So. Great job with all of that. This has been an amazing conversation. Both of us could talk for hours, but we're not going to.
No.
And
we like to talk more than people like to listen to us.
Exact. That's the thing with us pastors.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching, and consider supporting the Obin Network however possible. Sign up for classes, read your Bibles, and we will see you next time.
Good. All right. God bless. Bye.